Hi guys, welcome back. Now when I met with you last time, we talked about making pots and the different types of pots we could plant in. And today we're going to do some potting of seeds. I want to talk to you a little bit about what kind of thing you might find around the house in order to put these little pots of seeds in to help them germinate or mature or start to grow. And we'll talk about those words in a little bit. Some of the things you might have around your house are old salad containers. There's all kinds of sizes of these. They have neat little clear lids on them. And you need that clear lid. So what we're going to do is turn these into mini greenhouses that you can have indoors. So I have one here. This was salad. I believe salad came in this one from another place. I also have the kind of roaster chickens. You get your roaster chickens from Myers or Sam's or Kroger's. These are great. Wash them up really good with warm soapy water, and you've got a nice clear dome, and you've got a nice little container to put your pots in. Now if you don't have any of these available, you can also use a metal tray. And a lot of these metal trays can be bought at the dollar store or the grocery store, and they actually come with a clear lid. Or most of them do. If they don't, you can put plastic over the top. And you can put your pots in here and then cover it with plastic, or put the plastic lid that this one came with on top, and you've made a little greenhouse. Now the idea behind these is that the sunlight can still get in and it holds in the moisture, so it keeps those seeds nice and moist and damp so that they can soften up and start to mature or germinate or grow. Now when we talk about germination or maturing in a seed, that means that's when it goes from a seed to a tiny little sprout that will then come up out of the soil and produce a plant that will then produce either a beautiful flower or something yummy we can eat. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to then put some dirt into our pots, and I'm going to show you what I've chosen to use here at my house, and we'll get some seeds planted. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the three different options I have here in front of me, or the three ideas that I'm going to try here at home. I always like to try a variety and see which works best, and then next year I'll know better what I have to work with. So one is I'm going to use this salad container, and I use those paper pots in this one, and we'll talk about those, and we'll fill those with dirt in a minute. And this one is the red salad container, and remember we made our toilet paper tube pots, so I have it stashed full of these. And in the last one I'm going to use the chicken container. This is what a roaster chicken comes in, and it has this nice clear lid to go on it. In this one I'm going to use the egg crate. Now obviously it doesn't fit, but what's nice with this, I don't even actually need a knife. I can just reach right up here and I can tear this one apart. Now I could tear these into individuals, but I'm just going to set that in there just like that. Okay. Now I talked about needing drain holes in here, so I guess I better get some drain holes in it. I have a knife right here I'm going to use. Now remember, when you're getting ready to put your drain holes in, make sure you have an adult help you. But I'm going to put a drain hole in each one of mine. Okay, I've got drain holes. And that's going to go right in there. Now, the next thing we need to do is add soil to all of our pots. I'm going to be using just a regular potting mix because I had some available here at the house. If you don't have any, if you've got some loose soil out in the flower bed, make sure you talk to Mom and Dad before you go taking soil out of the flower bed. But if there are even some old pots from last year that still have soil in them, that's a great place to find some soil this time of year that you can do this project with. You can't really go out and buy soil right now, so if you can find it somewhere around the house, that's a great idea. Go looking for an old pot that still has some soil in it, or look for some soil from the flower bed outside. Preferably not the yard, but a flower bed would be better because the soil is a little looser. You don't want really hard soil for your pots because then the seedlings can't come up through the soil. So I'm going to get everything filled up with some dirt now. Okay, we have our dirt in our various types of pots here, and now we need to talk about seeds. So I'm going to take a minute and clean up. Okay, I have seed packets here. Now, I was lucky enough to get my seed packets early before we weren't allowed to purchase these anymore. If you should decide you want to try and plant some seeds, you can send me an email to mwbilby@swcrk.org, and I've just put this up on the screen. If you'll send me an email that says, Mrs. Bilby, I'd like to plant some seeds, I'll try to get some seeds out at the next food distribution at your home school with your name on them that you can pick up where the homework packets are. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the things I'm going to plant this year. I have some things that I plant every year, and every year I try to do something new, and I have a couple of new ones this year. So normally I plant these. This is called okra, and I'm sure you've had okra at some point in your life. A lot of times we'll get this fried at a restaurant to eat before our dinner comes. It's really yummy. Sometimes you can get it on your dinner plate. At our house, we like to fry it. We also like to eat this boiled. A lot of people don't like it that way because it's kind of slimy, but I love the taste of this with some butter on it. Something else that I'm going to be planting this year is this acorn squash, and we really like this. So it has that dark green skin, but inside is this yellow, yummy meat. It's kind of like pumpkin when you cut it open, but if you bake it, it gets really soft and mushy, kind of like mashed potatoes, and you put a little butter and brown sugar on that. That's some good stuff. I'm going to try and grow some really big, giant pumpkins this year. We'll see how that goes. Haven't grown pumpkins in a couple of years. We love our bell peppers in this house, so I'm going to do some of these. We're going to do some snake gourds. These are new this year. I've never planted these, and I'm really interested in seeing how these work. So I want to get these started. I'm also going to try these really cool dragon gourds. Look at those. I don't know if they actually come out looking like that dragon, but we're going to plant some and see what happens. This is a different kind of tomato forest this year. I don't have any red tomatoes here. All I have are these little yellow ones, and they're kind of like little mini pears. I'm sure you've had the little cherry tomatoes or the grape tomatoes. These are about the same size. I've heard they're really good and they're sweet, so we're going to try some of those. Zucchini. We eat a lot of zucchini in my house. We make bread with it. You can make cookies. You can make cake. We like it fried or cooked on the grill. We'll use it in a stir fry. We've actually baked this in the oven with some Parmesan cheese on it. That's good stuff. I have these yellow peppers. We like to eat these. These are also good in stir fry or cooked in other things, or they're just yummy to eat. I have some cucumbers. We all like cucumbers. I think I already had my zucchini. Did I have zucchini in there? Twice. Oh, I don't need that packet. This is yellow squash. I think we had yellow squash too, didn't we? No, I did. So I don't need that packet. And this is the last one that's new this year for me. And these are called dipper gourds. So these gourds you can actually, after they've grown and you let them set out for a winter, all the skin will decompose off of them and you're left with a hard shell. And you can drill a hole in them and actually turn them into dippers or spoons. So I want to try these. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about these packets of seeds. They give us some really important information about the plants on the back of them. Okay, and let's talk about what some of this information means. So in this one, if I can get it in the camera so you can read it, it says type is annual. So that means that we have to plant these every year. They don't just keep coming back year after year. the plant depth, or how far down into the dirt I'm going to put the seed, is a 1/2 inch. So in our little pots, I'll plant these down in about a 1/2 inch. It says that we need to make sure that they are 6 feet. Yeah, 6 feet apart. When I put them out in my garden in the dirt, I need to make sure that they're 6 feet apart. They need to be in all day sunshine. They don't want to be in the shade. Days to germination. Now, you know, I talked about germination, how long it takes to germinate or mature, and that's talking about the seed. So in this particular one, it's going to take 10 to 20 days for this seed to actually go from a seed to a sprout to a tiny little plant that we'll be seeing coming up out of the dirt. Now that may seem like a long time, but this is actually going to take a long time to grow as well. It'll tell me actually how high the plant will get. It will tell me when to start it indoors, which is 4 to 6 weeks, which is what I'm kind of doing now before I'm going to actually put it out in the garden, because it takes so long to get started. We're going to go ahead and get these started now. And maturity, this last one over here, maturity, it says 100 to 120 days. That means it's going to be 100 to 120 days from the time I put this seed in the dirt until I'm going to be able to pick a dipper gourd. 100 to 120 days. How many months is that? How many weeks is that? See if you can figure that out. Okay, we have all of our greenhouses all ready to go. Everything's planted. Now we wait. We have to wait for all of our seeds to sprout so that we can see them start to grow. Now, even though they start to sprout here just in the next few days, we won't be moving them outside to plant until the weather is ready for them, until they're big enough. One of the things we have to worry about this time of year here in Michigan is that if we put them out too soon, it'll frost and kill them. So we're going to keep them in the house. When the weather gets a little nicer, we will start to condition them. That means we'll take these little containers outside with the lids off and let them sit out in the warm sunshine during the middle of the day, feel a little breeze, and then we'll move them back inside just to keep them safe until they're ready to go outside. Now, we won't be putting them outside and probably until the end of May, so they've got a little while to go before we'll be planting in the actual garden. So with that being said, remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face. We'll see you real soon.